Welcome to the Wellness in Every Season podcast, where we embark on a transformative journey towards achieving total wellness, even in the midst of overwhelming moments. I'm your host, Autumn Carter, and I'm thrilled to have you here. This podcast is a sanctuary for all mothers out there, and we extend a warm invitation to anyone seeking guidance and inspiration. We believe in fostering an inclusive community where we learn and grow together, supporting each other during life's challenging transitions. Join us as we step out of survival mode and discover the path to thriving, embracing wellness in every season of motherhood. From sleepless nights to new beginnings, we'll explore practical strategies, share heartfelt stories, and uncover the transformative power of self-care and self-love. Together, we'll unlock the wisdom, strength, and resilience within ourselves, reminding one another that we're never alone on this beautiful yet demanding journey. It's time to prioritize your well-being and reclaim your joy, one season at a time. In the upcoming episode 41 of Wellness in Every Season, journey with us through Traditions Reimagined, crafting a tapestry of connection. We set the emotional backdrop with the touching story of the Johnson family, whose experiences bring to life the undeniable importance of traditions and knitting families together. As we dive into the heart of this episode, you'll see that traditions extend far beyond holiday lights and communal feasts. They envelop the everyday rituals that make your family unique, like birthday scavenger hunts for presents that transform an ordinary day into an extraordinary memory. This is one our family does. In our third segment, we'll offer a sanctuary of mindfulness. This meditative space is designed to instill peace and reflection, preparing you for the action-oriented discussions to follow. Then we'll guide you through the concept of creating, auditing, and adjusting family traditions, ensuring they continue to serve as an emotional anchor for everyone involved. We introduce the transformative idea of a family council, a routine gathering where every family member has a voice in shaping the rituals and routines that define your collective lives, helping you to distribute the emotional and practical responsibilities more evenly and taking some of the burden off mom. Continuing our exploration, we'll touch upon modern minimalism and its relevance in today's online, shopping-centric world. We encourage you to consider the holiday season as a time for creating cherished memories, asking you to ponder whether the most valuable gifts might be the intangible ones, the threads of connection rather than material accumulations. We'll conclude with a potent set of coaching questions aimed at encouraging you to reevaluate and reimagine the unique tapestry of traditions that constitute your family's identity. These questions will range from the significance of U.S. holiday customs and cultural traditions to the value of everyday rituals and even the philosophical underpinnings of minimalism, as discussed in our 90-day group coaching program. Reclaim your time, renew your spirit. Keep listening to learn more. Once upon a time, in a small, bustling town, lived the Johnson family. Anna, Mark, and their two children, Lily and Ben. The Johnsons were like any other family, caught in the whirlwind of life's obligations, school, work, errands, and endless to-do lists. Sound familiar? The parents, Anna and Mark, often found themselves swallowed up by their individual responsibilities, while Lily and Ben were engrossed in their young, digital lives. Though they shared a roof, each member was like a ship sailing independently, crossing paths only briefly at dinner time or in hurried morning exchanges. One year, as winter descended and the air filled with the aroma of pine and peppermint, Anna felt a sense of emptiness. Christmas was on the horizon, yet the holiday spirit seemed distant, like a nostalgic melody barely audible over the noise of the present. Recalling her own childhood, where holidays were steeped in warmth, laughter, and tradition, she decided that something had to change. Anna took it upon herself to instill a very new family tradition, decorating a Christmas tree together, but with a twist. Instead of the usual ornaments, each family member would create their own, encapsulating a significant memory or hope for the future. On a chilly December evening, they gathered around a bare spruce tree with homemade ornaments in hand. With each ornament hung, they'd share its meaning, unraveling layers of their lives that often went unnoticed. As they adorned the tree, they also unknowingly adorned their family bond. The room filled with not just the sparkle of lights and tinsel, but with a warmth that penetrated deeper than any winter chill could ever get. The revelation the Johnson family experienced during the transformative Christmas season opened the doors to other family traditions, each carving out its own sacred space in their lives. Birthdays, once casual affairs often overshadowed by everyday responsibilities, took on new significance. Anna and Mark introduced a tradition of scavenger hunts for presents, turning the usually straightforward gift-giving into an adventurous journey around the house, and even the neighborhood. Each clue was a riddle or a cherished memory, a breadcrumb trail leading not just to a wrapped box, but to a moment of collective reflection and joy. The anticipation, the laughter, the thrill of the hunt became just as meaningful as the presents themselves. The children, Lily and Ben, began to see their birthdays as not merely a celebration of age, but a celebration of life, woven into the intricate fabric of their family tapestry. The Johnsons didn't stop at holidays and birthdays. They integrated traditions into their daily life as well. Family dinners, once a rushed affair, now included a moment where each person could share something they were grateful for that day. This daily ritual transformed an ordinary mealtime into an oasis of gratitude, quenching the thirst of their souls much like a refreshing sip of water on a parched desert. It became a time to pause, breathe, and acknowledge the small yet profound blessings that often went unnoticed amid the clutter of daily living. Beyond Christmas and birthdays, the Johnsons began to explore other holidays and occasions that resonated with them. For instance, Earth Day became a day of family volunteering, and the 4th of July was marked by a creative fireworks display choreographed to a playlist of songs that held special meaning for them. Even the humble pancake breakfast held on the first Saturday of every month became a tradition, one that was as eagerly awaited as Christmas or any birthday. These carefully chosen rituals across the calendar served as touchstones, reminders of what mattered most in a world that could be overwhelming and disorienting. In weaving these traditions into the fabric of their lives, the Johnson family discovered a resiliency and depth of connection they hadn't known before. Each tradition became a chapter in their unfolding story, a steady force in the tumultuous seas of life. They found that traditions acted as both compass and anchor, guiding them through challenges and keeping them grounded in the face of adversary. The impact of that initial Christmas tradition was far-reaching, almost like a stone thrown into a pond, its ripples extending outwards in ever-widening circles. Through the joys and sorrows, the milestones and the mundane, the Johnsons found that their traditions created a sanctuary, a home within their home, a way to always find their way back to each other. So, why are family traditions important? Traditions offer more than just a break from routine or an excuse for a celebration. They serve as an emotional keystone, creating a sanctuary of belonging and continuity in a world that is often fragmented and fleeting. Starting your own family traditions doesn't have to be elaborate or expensive. It just needs to come from the heart, nurtured by the hands of each family member. But it's also vital to examine which traditions may have outlived their purpose. As you navigate the bustling holiday season and prepare for Christmas, consider what traditions you'd like to start in your family and which you might want to adjust or let go of. Because, just like the Johnsons, you may find that the most precious gifts aren't found under the tree, but within the circle of family, stitched together through the threads of tradition. While traditions are inherently valuable for the emotional stability and collective memory they offer, it's important to note that not all traditions serve us well indefinitely. Some rituals may become sources of dread rather than joy, a burdensome obligation rather than a loving celebration. Over time, what once brought families together might evolve into a stressor that pulls them apart, like tautly pulled strings on an old worn quilt. Consider a reoccurring family reunion that has grown increasingly tense and conflict-laden over the years. I think we've all had those. The idea of gathering together now fills the air with a palpable dread, like a heavy fog rolling in, obscuring the sunshine. In such cases, it may be worth asking if this tradition is still serving its original purpose. Could the format be adjusted, perhaps focusing on smaller, more intimate gatherings? Or is it time to release this tradition altogether, making room for new ones that better reflect the family's current dynamics and needs? Personally, we have done this with both of our families and made the major holidays about our nuclear family, our young family, and it has realigned us and it's been really good for us. So I definitely recommend looking into these things. There is an autumnal beauty in letting go, much like the way trees shed their leaves to make way for new growth. Releasing or modifying a tradition that it no longer serves your family doesn't mean you're severing ties with your past. Instead, think of it as pruning a flourishing tree. You're making space for new traditions that can breathe fresh life into your family's emotional landscape, filling it with vivid colors and invigorating scents, much like the first blossom of spring after a long winter. I know we're all looking forward to that. Sometimes traditions that were once charming and fun can become rote and mechanical, losing their initial magic. Here, the key is revitalization rather than elimination. Invite family members to share their feelings openly, to contribute new ideas, and help reshape these traditions so they can continue to serve as your family's emotional pillars. And we will talk more about how to have a family meeting or a family council, so hang on. Imagine replacing a tiresome Christmas dinner that's become a mere shadow of its former self with a festive potluck, where everyone contributes a dish meaningful to them. Feel the excitement and anticipation in the air, like sparks flying from a crackling hearth, as each family member unveils their contribution, rejuvenating the tradition with new flavors and stories. In the realm of family traditions, adaptability is just as important as continuity. Balance is the key word. The objective is to create a living, breathing tradition that grows and evolves with your family. Traditions shouldn't become rigid structures, but should be like clay, moldable, adaptable, and infused with the imprints of all who touch it. Like the Johnsons, you may find that the strength of your family is not just in the traditions you uphold, but in the wisdom to know when to change, adapt, or even let go. In doing so, you cultivate a family life rich in meaning and love, a sanctuary that welcomes both the joys and sorrows of human existence, bound together by the enduring threads of tradition. Close your eyes and take a deep, nourishing breath, as if you are inhaling the first crisp air of a fall morning. Feel your lungs expand, your chest rise, and imagine this breath as a gentle wind sweeping through the corridors of your heart and mind, clearing away the cobwebs. Hold this breath for a moment at the top of your inhalation, feeling it nestle within you like a bird, carefully landing on a tree branch. Now, exhale slowly, feeling your breath return to the world as a soft breeze, carrying with it any tension or stress you've been holding on to. In this space of tranquility, envision yourself walking into a room filled with heirlooms and artifacts. These are your family traditions. The room is softly lit, casting a warm, golden glow on each object. There are quilts and table settings, photographs, and handwritten recipes all neatly displayed. Each one represents a tradition, an emotional touchstone, a moment where your family has come together. As you walk through this room, let your attention be drawn to different items. Feel the texture of each tradition, its weight, its resonance. Some may feel as comforting as your grandmother's old scarf, steeped in the perfume of bygone days, making you feel wrapped in love and security. Others might feel like a dusty, forgotten book on a high shelf, pages brittle with disuse, no longer speaking to you or your family. Now, focus on one tradition that feels heavier than the others, like a knapsack filled with stones you've been carrying. Imagine taking it down, dusting it off, and opening it to examine its contents. Ask yourself, is this tradition serving me and my family? Does it feel like a burden rather than a blessing? As you ponder these questions, breathe in compassion and breathe out any judgment or guilt. Remember, it's okay to let go or modify. By doing so, you're not losing an essential part of yourself, making room for new growth, like a garden bed cleared for fresh blooms. Finally, turn your attention to an empty space in the room, a clean slate bathed in a beam of sunlight filtering through a nearby window. This space is waiting to be filled with a new tradition, one that will serve your family's current needs and aspirations. Imagine what this new tradition would look like, how it would feel, and how it would sound. Perhaps it's the laughter-filled voices of your family engaged in a new holiday game, or the quietude of a shared mindfulness practice. Feel its texture, its depth, its lightness, and place it gently in the empty space. Breathe into this vision, infusing it with your love and hope. Slowly start to deepen your breath, as if each inhalation could make this new vision more vivid and each exhalation could solidify its place in your life. When you're ready, gently open your eyes, bringing back with you the feelings and insights you've gained during this reflective journey. As you go forward, remember that traditions are not set in stone, but are more like rivers, meant to flow, to change course when needed, and to nourish all that lies in their path. Take with you the peace and clarity from this practice, using it as a guiding light as you consider which traditions to hold close, which to let go of, and which new ones to welcome into the tapestry of your family life. As the holiday season approaches, you might notice your inbox and social media feeds filling up with enticing online deals, encouraging you to click, scroll, and add to your virtual cart. It's an easy narrative to get swept up in, this idea that joy can be delivered to your doorstep with just a few clicks. But here's a thought to ponder. What if the essence of the season, the things that bring true, lasting happiness, can't be found on a website or shipped in a box? Sounds like the Grinch who stole Christmas here, huh? The concept of minimalism invites us to consider this question deeply. It doesn't shout at us to change our ways. It's more of a soft whisper, encouraging us to pause and take inventory of what really matters. Think of it like pruning a rose bush. By trimming back the excess, whether it's possessions or even outdated family traditions, we often encourage new growth, making room for fresh blooms of happiness and meaningful connection. When you look at your family's holiday rituals, your traditions, or even your shopping habits, do they fill you with a sense of joy and purpose? Or do they feel more like obligations, boxes to be checked off, a seasonal to-do list? The beauty of this time of year is that it gives us a natural pause, a moment to reflect on what brings us genuine comfort and happiness. It's intriguing to think about gifts as potential new traditions, isn't it? Maybe the most memorable gifts aren't items, but experiences. Shared moments that become emotional touchstones for your family. These don't require 2-day shipping or elaborate unboxing. Their impact unfolds over time, like the slow unfurling of a rosebud into a full bloom. So as the digital world buzzes around you with the promise of more, you might find it enriching to consider the power of less. What could less clutter, fewer obligations, and a more meaningful approach to the holiday season bring to you and your loved ones? After all, the most resonant joys often dwell in the simplest moments, pauses filled with authentic love and connection, far away from the click of a mouse. Welcome, dear listeners. Do you ever feel like your days are just a never-ending checklist, leaving you yearning for moments that truly enrich your soul? I get it. You're not just a mom, you're the heartbeat of your home, deserving of a life that's as complex and fulfilling as you are. That's why I'm inviting you to a journey of transformation in my 90-day coaching program called Reclaim Your Time, Renew Your Spirit. Picture a life where your daily obligations transform into soul-filling activities. Imagine crossing the threshold of your home and feeling a sigh of relief wash over you, rather than a tidal wave of stress. And yes, even envision a household where responsibilities are shared equally, reflecting the unique strengths and needs of each family member. That's right. In this program, we'll take time to explore what equality in the home really means for you and your loved ones, helping you to build a more balanced, joyful domestic life. This isn't your typical coaching program, it's a collective journey towards soulful, meaningful living. From day one, you'll dive deep into not just your daily to-dos, but into your dreams, your desires, and the very essence of what makes you, you. We'll explore everything from color-coded time-blocking worksheets to meal planning with recipes that brings more than just food to the table. They bring joy, and they can bring you more time. We'll guide you through decluttering your spaces, both physical and emotional, creating room for new growth. And let's not forget self-care. We'll delve into what that truly looks like for you, making it an unshakable pillar in your daily life. All of this unfolds in a nurturing community of like-minded moms, each on her own path to transformation. As we wrap up our time together, we'll focus on recognizing your intrinsic worth, nourishing your relationships, and even explore how creating space for yourself contributes to a happier, healthier life and partnership. This is more than a program. It's a launch pad into a life where you thrive in every sense of the word. Ready to embark on the transformative journey? Join the waitlist now at wellnessineveryseason.com/reclaim your time program. Your new chapter is not just around the corner, it starts today. As the year draws to a close and the promise of a new year looms on the horizon, it's a poignant time for reflection, a quiet moment to step back and gaze at the tapestry of traditions and routines that color our lives. Imagine the season as an art gallery of your own creation. Each tradition, whether it's a holiday ritual or a simple daily habit, is like a painting hanging on the wall. Some bring warmth, stirring up feelings of joy and belonging each time you pass by them. Others perhaps have lost their luster, no longer invoking the same emotion they once did, leaving you with a sense of obligation or even dread. When you look at the art adorning the gallery of your year, consider which pieces are keepers and which might be ready for storage, or even a complete makeover. Auditing your traditions is like curating this personal exhibit. You have the power to choose what stays and what goes, what gets a new frame and what needs a touch-up. Your life is an evolving masterpiece, and it's entirely within your control to ensure that every tradition you carry forward serves to enrich it, rather than weigh it down. Creating new traditions is like adding a new painting to an empty space on the wall. It's an exciting endeavor that invites fresh energy into your life. What themes or emotions do you wish to invoke in the coming year? Whether it's a new activity for your family's Christmas gathering, or a personal daily ritual to foster peace and mindfulness, creating new traditions offers you the opportunity to manifest your intentions in a tangible, enduring way. And let's not forget the beauty of modification. Sometimes a small tweak is all it takes to transform a stale tradition into something vibrant and meaningful again. Think of this as retouching a beloved but faded painting. Maybe it's adjusting the rules of your family's annual Thanksgiving football game, or perhaps it's finding a more eco-friendly way to wrap gifts during the holiday season. Whatever it may be, even the most subtle modifications can breathe new life into your yearly celebrations and daily routines. So as you stand on the cusp of a new year, remember that you are the curator of your own life's gallery. It's an ongoing labor of love, requiring thoughtful auditing, creative additions, and mindful modifications. Take this time to ponder which traditions still resonate with you, which new ones you'd like to introduce, and which could benefit from a refresh. Because in the grand scheme of things, your traditions are more than mere rituals. They are the emotional brushstrokes that define your life's masterpiece. The notion of a family council gathers an almost archaic charm, reminiscent of old tales where the clan comes together around a hearth to discuss matters of collective concern. But in today's fast-paced world, such an idea carries more relevance than ever. Picture this as a modern rite, a dedicated space and time where family members, from the youngest to the oldest, gather in a circle of trust and mutual respect, their voices melting into a tapestry of collective wisdom. Incorporating the tradition of a family council becomes an empowering exercise, acting as a democratic forum where everyone has a voice in shaping not just family traditions, but the rhythm of daily life as well. Imagine the relief washing over a mother's face, the lines of worry smoothing out as she finds that the weight of decision-making is not hers to bear alone. The burden of crafting and maintaining family traditions, activities, and daily chores becomes lighter as it's distributed across multiple shoulders. Visualize a young child's eyes lighting up as they realize that their opinion about how to celebrate a particular holiday actually matters, that their voice has power. Consider the teenager, often cocooned in her own world, feeling a newfound sense of connection and responsibility as they contribute ideas for a new family outing or how to modify an outdated tradition. Even for the adults, the act of coming together in this way provides an opportunity for deeper emotional bonding, as sharing ideas becomes a symbolic exchange of love and respect. In each council, the family could collectively decide what needs an update, be it a tradition, a daily chore, or even how household responsibilities are distributed. The sense of collective responsibility that emerges from such gatherings can go far in making each family member more accountable, thus relieving the mom of being the sole decision-maker and executor of family activities and routines. So, as you look toward refreshing your traditions or creating new ones, consider institutionalizing the idea of a family council. It's not just about making democratic decisions. It's about weaving a stronger emotional fabric for the family. It's about creating a sanctuary of collective wisdom and shared responsibility, a sacred space where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. And in doing so, you cultivate a living tradition that enriches your family life, not just for a season, but for generations to come. The idea of a family meeting, a phrase that can either conjure images of a cozy bonding moment or a dread-filled gathering, depending on how it's approached. The key to turning your family council into a beloved tradition rather than a dreaded obligation lies in the details. Envision the setting as a warm, inviting haven, a space that radiates inclusivity and camaraderie. Firstly, consider the lure of a treat. It's like the proverbial cherry on top, an enticing token that elevates the meeting from being just a functional gathering to a mini celebration. Whether it's freshly baked cookies, a fruit platter, or even a special tea blend, having a treat sets a tone of indulgence. Imagine the smell of warm chocolate chip cookies wafting through the air as you discuss the agenda, acting as a sensory undercurrent that infuses the meeting with a sense of comfort. Speaking of the agenda, make it a collective effort. Create a shared digital document or a physical notepad where everyone can jot down topics they'd like to cover in the meeting. As family members see their points acknowledged and addressed, it fosters a sense of ownership and accountability. Think of this evolving document as a living canvas, where each stroke of the pen adds depth and nuance to your family's ever-changing masterpiece. Atmosphere. It's like the invisible, enveloping aroma of a dish that makes your senses tingle even before you take the first bite. When we're talking about family council, the venue within your home plays a similar role. Imagine a space that's universally loved, perhaps a cozy living room with soft lighting, where every piece of furniture seems to extend an invitation to sit and stay a while. Choosing this favored space adds another layer of comfort, an unspoken message that says, you're welcome, you're valued, you're home. Now imagine interspacing the agenda with a blend of topics that oscillate between lighthearted and serious, the family equivalent of a meal that offers both appetizers and hearty mains. You could discuss the joyous possibilities of the upcoming family vacation and also touch upon matters like budgeting. This ensures that everyone stays engaged as it creates a rhythm between upliftment and gravitas, between dreaming and planning. While the atmosphere sets the stage and the agenda serves as the script, it's important to also have a directorial technique that ensures everyone is heard. Consider a talking stick or a similar object that gets passed around, allowing only the person holding it to speak. The stick becomes a talisman of voice and respect, a sign that now is the moment for each individual to share their thoughts freely without interruption. Lastly, a family council is a sanctuary. It's crucial that it remains so. Should there be a need for corrective conversations with a family member, choose a different time and setting for it. Picture the family meeting as a garden where you want to sow seeds of collective growth, not individual admonishment. So by setting your family council in a beloved space, weaving in a mixed palette of topics, ensuring everyone's voice is heard, and preserving the meeting's integrity by avoiding negative critiques, you can craft an experience that's as enriching as it is enjoyable. It becomes an activity where serious planning can coexist with joyous discussion, and where the exchange of ideas can happen in an environment that everyone looks forward to inhabiting. And that is the true hallmark of a tradition that's not just endured, but cherished. Family dates and individual dates with each family member are like the secret ingredients that amplify the flavor of your family life. They are traditions that don't just add spice and sweetness, but also introduce layers of complexity that make the whole dish, your family life, utterly satisfying. Picture a family date, a day where the air buzzes with an electric charge of collective joy. Whether it's a day at the beach, a picnic in the park, or even an adventure in your backyard, these occasions become sacred pockets of time, sealed off from the rush of everyday life. They serve as effervescent bubbles of joy that float atop the sea of your year, offering respite and connection. Now, imagine an individual date, a narrower but deeper channel of emotional communication. Think of a dad and daughter day at a pottery class. Hands drenched in clay as they sculpt not just bowls, but memories. Or a mother and son coffee date, where amidst sips of hot cocoa and shared laughter, they carve out a space for serious talks too. These one-on-one dates bring an intimacy that adds a unique hue to the colorful tapestry of family life. They act as a gentle reminder that while the family operates as a unit, it is composed of individuals, each with their own worlds, waiting to be explored and understood. Both family and individual dates serve a crucial function. They act as emotional refueling stations. If the family is a ship sailing through the choppy waters of life, then these traditions are the hidden coves offering a momentary but deeply rejuvenating respite. They are times where you not only relish the company of your loved ones, but also understand them anew, stripping away the masks that daily routines often require us to wear. These traditions are not just important, they are indispensable. They are the ballast that stabilizes the family ship when storms hit. And they are the sails that catch the wind, propelling you all forward into another year of shared journeys, each day an unopened gift, brimming with the promise of togetherness and mutual discovery. Family traditions are like the intricately woven quilt, each square a unique representation of shared experiences, cultural heritage, and individual inclinations. But quilts can fray at the edges or grow too small, and similarly, traditions need revisiting and perhaps some refurbishing. In a world where every family unit is a unique constellation of individual stars, the rituals and traditions you hold dear should be just as singular. They should adapt to changes in your life, evolutions in individual identities, new additions to the family, or even a profound philosophy like minimalism. These traditions can be as varied as celebrating major U.S. holidays with your own twist, observing cherished cultural customs, making the most of summertime with family outings, or even the simple, daily act of gathering around the dinner table. They can also align with a desire to declutter your life, both physically and emotionally, similar to what we explore in the Reclaim Your Time, Renew Your Spirit coaching program. So as you sip your cup of introspection, ponder over these coaching questions to help you scrutinize, evaluate, and rejuvenate your family traditions. What are the current traditions you observe during major holidays, and how do they make each family member feel? Are there cultural traditions that you feel are being neglected or conversely forced upon family members who don't connect with them? What does a perfect summer family outing look like for each individual in your family? How often does your family gather for meals, and what is the emotional tone of these gatherings? Are there daily or weekly traditions that have started to feel more like obligations than joyous activities? Which traditions may need to be let go because they are no longer serving your family, or have even become a source of dread? How can the concept of minimalism be incorporated into your family traditions to focus more on experiences rather than material things? Are there traditions you want to introduce that encourage emotional well-being, similar to the self-care techniques we discussed in the coaching program? Do you currently have any one-on-one traditions with individual family members? If not, what might those look like? If you were to start a tradition of family council or meetings, what elements would make them both effective and enjoyable for everybody? Each of these questions serves as a stepping stone across the stream of your current life, leading you toward a future where your family traditions are not just observed, but deeply cherished. Take your time with each one, letting it simmer in your mind until it's ready to serve as nourishing food for thought. In this episode, we navigated the emotional and practical aspects of family traditions. We began with the touching narrative of the Johnson family to highlight how traditions can serve as emotional keystones, anchoring us in a fragmented world. The episode featured a guided mindfulness practice, encouraging listeners to reflect deeply on the traditions they might want to adjust, adopt, or let go. We also explore the concept of family councils as an innovative yet heartfelt way for all family members to contribute to the family's traditions and decisions. We discussed how this shared responsibility could alleviate some of the emotional load often carried by moms. As we wove in the philosophy of modern minimalism, the focus shifted from accumulating material goods, often driven by online shopping, to fostering memorable experiences. We rounded off our discussion by presenting coaching questions aimed at helping you sift through the layers of your family traditions, factoring in daily rituals, holidays, and the ethos of minimalism. But that's not all. In our next episode, get ready to delve into a topic that many find uncomfortable, but is crucial to discuss: the end of life. We'll be joined by Cami Miskin, a death doula, who will share her expertise on how to prepare for our own and our family members' eventual passing. With her rich background as a social worker, chaplain, therapist, and now a death doula, Cami will provide insights that promise to make this often taboo subject a beautiful, even uplifting conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed recording with Cami. I'm certain you'll find our upcoming talk as meaningful as it is informative. Thank you for joining us on this week's Refreshing Wellness discussion. I am Autumn Carter, your guide through the seasons of motherhood, and I hope you found inspiration and valuable insights during our time together. If you resonated with the topics we explored today and want to continue your wellness journey, I invite you to follow me on Instagram at Mom's Wellness in every season. There you'll discover a wealth of ongoing wellness tips specifically curated for moms like you. Sharing our podcast with others is an act of caring, and I invite you to spread the word by sharing, subscribing, and leaving a review wherever you enjoy your podcast. Your support is deeply valuable to us and enables us to reach more mothers who are seeking transformation and empowerment. If you have a specific topic you'd like us to cover in more detail, or if you're interested in a free coaching consultation, don't hesitate to reach out. You can send me a direct message on Instagram or visit my website, wellnessineveryseason.com, to send an email. I'm here to support you on your wellness journey. Thank you again for being part of our vibrant community. I am genuinely excited to connect with you, hear your stories, and continue this important discussion in the weeks to come. Until next time, remember to prioritize your well-being, embrace every season with grace, and always strive for wellness in every aspect of your motherhood journey. Take care, and I can't wait to catch up with you soon.